So today's lesson we're looking at the Locrian natural 6 scale, and the difference between this and a normal Locrian is simply referred to in the title. So the 6 is major instead of minor. So what we might do first is compare the Locrian to this scale just to see the difference in sound. I'm going to start in the lowest octave. Now we'll add in the natural 6 or major 6. Now if we want to do it in the next octave, you'll notice the diagram in the Guitar Pro and PDF transcriptions. So we can start at the 7th fret and we can do it like this. And that positions the group of notes that we'll be working with today, but it always helps to learn it in other areas of the fretboard too. So what we're going to do here is not so much get into the fine details of what's going on. This is essentially an improvisation that I did, and then I went back and just tweaked a couple of things to make it more coherent. But what I would suggest doing with this lesson is learning this as an improvisation, and then focusing on that little area of the scale, and then trying to come up with your own ideas and improvising yourself. That's really the point to this. So what I'm going to do now is play the first 4 bars so that we can hear how that sounds. And really the only thing you've got to watch out for here is the odd bend. On the whole, it's not very difficult to do. Also keep an eye on my picking hand as well, just to keep an eye on the pick strokes. With the bar 1, we're actually starting on the offbeat. I'm going to start on an upstroke. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that bend was a half step, not a very difficult bend to do. And notice that we didn't move outside of our position. We stayed in 7th position the whole time. Let's play the next 4 bars and then we'll go back and play through the first 8. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One area of focus there might be the 16th note triplet, where we have to play that into the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So we might just focus on that rhythm. If we're at this tempo, 2, 3, 4, the triplet speed would be something like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and... I played the 10th fret there initially, but then I fixed it up to fret 11. But for the purposes of learning the rhythm, doesn't really make a lot of difference. We're doing the 3 notes on one string. We just have to make sure that we're putting it into the slot that it's meant to be in. And it is coming in on the second half of beat 1. Let's play through the first 8 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now, one thing I realised is I may have actually been playing fret 10 in the performance, but it is actually fret 11 there on the 3rd string. So don't worry too much about that. Even if you do play fret 10, it's actually not going to sound too bad anyway, because it will be the minor 3rd. So technically it's still going to really fit in, but we want that 11th fret to give us that sound. That's the note. So it's the F sharp note. Also in the 4th bar, I remember this from when I was doing the performance, I kept thinking it was at fret 8 because that's the way I transcribed it. This is in bar 4, but it's actually fret 7. Again though, if we play fret 8, not going to matter because it's still in the scale. Let's move on to the latter half. We're going to do bars 9 to 12. So in this one, what we want to keep an ear out for and a lookout for is the fact that we're moving into the higher range of the scale. So we're going to want to start in the 8th position. Index is at fret 8, 3rd finger will be doing fret 10, and 11 will be pinky. So in fret 9, I keep saying fret, it's bar 9. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So notice that group of notes there. Let's move on to bars 13 to 16. And this time we're going to be focusing in on the 2nd and up to the 4th string. In this case, we're doing a lot at the 7th and the 8th fret initially, before moving back at the end over to the 10th fret. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That bit's really worth focusing on. It's a great bunch of notes to use in this piece. In the next 2 bars, again, we've got that triplet idea. Or finishing up with the bends and things. That's an interesting little sequence. We'll repeat that. 1. Take note of where I'm picking and when I'm not picking. 1. That's really the key to getting the correct sound there. Let's have a complete playthrough of the whole piece. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So to conclude, I think this is a great place to start if you're looking to do more interesting, exotic sort of scales. And again, the best way to approach this is just to learn the idea that I've written out here and done, but then just to let loose over the backing track and then experiment with your own ideas. There really isn't a right or a wrong way. Generally, with this sort of thing, you're going to get to know what sounds good to your ears and what doesn't. And as Frank Zappa once said, there are no wrong notes. So take heart. He was a great guy and very knowledgeable, so I put my faith in his wisdom. In any case, have fun with it, and I'll catch you soon for the next lesson. Till then, bye for now.